Hey guys, what's up? I'm Brian with Fishers Off-Road, and today we're in the shop and we're answering some questions for Randy in Pennsylvania, and we have some specific Sedona Trail Saw Rock-A-Billy tire questions from him. He's looking at buying either one of them, but wanted to know what we think because he saw us running them for a while and just kind of wanted to get some feedback. First of all, one of the things he wanted to know is, do they run true to size? Now, Randy, most of your tires are going to be off a little bit. If you look here, we have a trail saw mounted on our R-Max. This is a 30-inch tire, and it runs about 29 1/4. We have a Mud Rebel RT on the other side of the unit here. That's going to run about an inch smaller. Whenever you're mounting tires on a vehicle, you want to remember that most tires, you're going to have some shrinkage because when they're manufactured, they don't have a wheel on them. They're just sitting there on the floor, not mounted to anything. They're going to be a little bit bigger. As soon as you put them on a wheel, you put them on a vehicle, you're going to lose anywhere from ½ inch to 3/4 of an inch to sometimes an inch, and some tires maybe even more. So with the trail saw and the Rock-A-Billy, you're going to run about a ½ inch to maybe 3/4 of an inch smaller than what it says on the sidewall. So that gives you an idea of the little bit of shrinkage you're going to have once you put the tire on your machine. Another question he had was about which one do we like the most? What's our favorite? Now, depending on what we're doing and how we're using them is really going to depend on which tire we use. Now, honestly, for most people out there in the general public, they're not even going to notice a difference. But I like to use the trail saw on our R-Max because it has a little bit heavier load rating. It's more of a structured tire, has a stronger carcass. This is a 10 PSI tire. The Rock-A-Billy is an 8 PSI tire. The trail saw has a little bit more void between the lugs, and it's also got a little bit more tread depth and a little bit more girth on the sidewalls to kind of really help pull you through mud holes. And even if you're looking at the Rock-A-Billy or the trail saw, either one of them are good in mud if you're running the right tire pressure. Now, your trail saw is going to run 10 PSI, your Rock-A-Billy is going to run 8 PSI. I see guys that have 15, 20 PSI in these tires and they wonder why they're skating and they're not handling good. They don't get out of any mud, and that's your problem. These are a low PSI tire, and they're also rated at the 8 and 10 PSI. So if you have a tire that's a 22 PSI tire and it's an 8-ply rating, as soon as you let air out of that tire, it's no longer an 8-ply tire. It's now, less plies, and it's more susceptible to punctures, and it just takes away the integrity of the tire. Whenever you have a low PSI tire, it starts with that load rating at the 8 and the 10 PSI. So that way you're getting the right load rating, the right structure. You don't have to worry about the tire kind of folding on you. And also another good thing is if you want to run a little bit more air pressure, that's fine if you're running a side-by-side, an ATV, a UTV, something that you're running these tires on that has a lot of weight on it. You're running more weight than usual. You can put a little bit more air in these tires. So if you're running an 8 on the Rock-A-Billy, you could run a 10 or 12. If you're running a 10 on the trail saw, you could run a 12 or 14. You can add a little bit more to it and give you a little bit more structure if you're running heavier loads. That's the benefit of having a low PSI tire with a really great structure and carcass. You don't have to worry about it falling apart when you're running low air pressures. Another thing is wear. One thing you want to think about is how are you going to use your tire. We use our tires a lot on hard pack, dirt roads, logging roads, trails, mud, rock, you name it. We use our tires on everything, and they have held up extremely well. Either the Rock-A-Billy or the trail saw, we're averaging 5,000 to 6,000 miles out of them, and we put them on our rentals. We have a fleet of about 20 couple rentals right now, and we float these tires around on our fleet. And we like to run a square tire setup so that way we can rotate from the front to the rear. So that way you're getting more miles out of your tires just like you do out of your vehicle. Well, there you go, Randy. There's some answers to your questions. I hope that helps you out. And if you all got any questions, feel free to hit me up. We'll see you. Take care. Have a good one, guys.